Hey everyone, welcome to Data Millennials. I'm Atul, and in this video we are going to discuss that how we can use for loop, while loop and the if conditional statement all together in a single Python program. So as we know that the for loop is used to run a block of code multiple times. The while loop in Python is used to repeat a block of code, and it will keep on repeating unless a condition becomes false. Now, what if I want to use for loop, while loop, and if condition all together? Then what could be the program, or what could be the scenario? So combining for loop, while loop, and if statement in a Python program allows for sophisticated control flow, making it ideal for real-world applications such as data processing, automation, and complex algorithm implementation. For instance, in a web scraping task, a while loop can ensure repeated attempts to fetch data, and the if statement can handle conditional logic checking for response status, and a for loop can iterate over multiple URLs. So this combination enable robust and flexible solutions to dynamically handle diverse scenarios and exceptions in the real application. But over here in this video, we are going to take a very simple example to implement the use of for loop, while loop, and if together in a particular program. So what we are going to do is that we are going to ask a user input as a choice, 1 or 2. If the user choice is 1, then we are going to print the value from 1 till 10. If the user choice is 2, then we are going to add the values from 1 till 10. Like, we'll keep on incrementing the value, so 1 plus 2, then the next value would be 3. So we already have 1 plus 2 equal to 3, then 3 plus 3 equal to 6, or something like this. Okay, and in case if the user gives them something else apart from 1 or 2, then we are going to obviously going to print saying that invalid choice. Okay, in this problem statement which I'm talking about, we will be able to use the if condition, we will be able to use the for loop, and also we'll be able to use the while loop. So let's start the program. So first of all, we are going to ask the user for his choice. So I'm going to say user choice equal to, and I'm going to take eval over here. Then I'm going to put input. Please enter your choice, 1 or 2, and then I'm going to initialize another variable total equal to 0. Then I'm going to use a if condition saying that if user choice is equal to 1, then we have to print the value from 1 till 10. Okay, so when the user choice is 1, then I'm going to ask the user that please enter the starting number. It's better to ask the user to enter the starting number and ending number instead of hard coding it to give the values from 1 till 10. Okay, so I'm going to put start value equal to int input. Please enter the starting number, and similarly I'm going to give the end value over here, and I'm going to ask the user for the ending number. Okay, then I'm going to use a for loop saying that for I in range start value which is given by user to end value. So let's assume that the user has given 1 till 10, and the user might not be familiar with the Python concepts, so he would be expecting to get output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but ideally you would be getting from 1 till 9. So they will think that the program is giving a wrong output. But we know that the end value, if the end value is 10, it will always iterate till 9. So it's better to keep end value plus 1. Okay, and then I'm going to give the step value which is 1 for the range function, and then I'm going to print this I. Okay, now what if the user selects 2, then I'm going to check it again saying that elif user choice is equal to 2, then again we are going to ask for the same thing, that give me the start number and end number, and I'll keep on adding the value. Okay, so using the while loop we can say while our start value is less than equal to end value, then take this total variable, put total plus this start value, and then print this total and increment this start value by 1. Now what if the user chooses something else, let's say 3 or 4? In that case I'm simply gonna say else print invalid choice. After that I'm going to print program has successfully completed. Okay, so let's run this program once and try to understand what is happening in this entire code. So the moment I run this, the first thing that the program is asking me to enter my choice 1 or 2. So let's say I want to choose 1. I want the value from 51 or 50 to 60. Okay, so I entered 1 and press enter. I need to give the starting number. The starting number is 50. The ending number is 60. So I'm getting all the output saying that 50 till 60. Okay, so let's understand this part. Over here we have been asking the user to input the choice. If it is 1, so let's say that the user has selected 1, so 1 is getting stored in user choice variable in memory, and over here we are checking whether 1 is equal to 1. So this is true. The moment it becomes true, then the control of the program comes over here in this line, and it asks the user to give the start value. Let's say I had given 50, so 50 will get stored in this start value variable. Then program control comes to this line and it will ask for the user to give the end value, and I had given the end value as 60, so 60 will get saved in this end value. Then we are using the for loop, and with this range function, within this range function we have given the start value and the end value. So it will start the iteration from 50 and it will go till 60 one by one and print the values. Okay, now as this if condition is satisfied, that's why none of these elif and else condition got executed. Then the program control comes to this print statement and it will execute this line, and you will get this line saying that program has successfully completed. Now let's select our choice as 2 this time. So the program is asking me to enter my choice, so I'm going to put 2 over here and press enter. Again it's asking me to enter the starting number. This time I'm going to put 1, and the end number I'm going to put 5, and if I press enter you will see that we have the incremental value. So what's happening over here, I'll explain this part also when we will be explaining this part. Okay, as the user choice is 2, so over here it's gonna check 2 is equal to 1, it would be false. The moment it becomes false, then this line or these lines will not get executed. Then the program control will come to this elif and check if 2 which is saved in user choice is equal to this condition 2, so this becomes true. So now this line within this elif statement will get executed. So the user will be asked to enter the start number. I had given 1 over here for that. Then program control will come to this line end value and it will ask the user to enter the end number. For that I had given 5. Okay, now we have the while loop. In this loop it's checking that whether 1 is less than equal to 5. So this is true. Then we have the total variable, and in that variable we have been initialize it with 0. So what happens is that 0 plus start value, which is 1, and this total variable which is in memory got replaced with this summation value which is 1, and then it got printed. So that's why we have 1 over here. Then this start value is incremented by 1. So right now the value stored in start value variable is 1, right? So it is 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Now again the program control comes to this line and checks 2 is less than 5. So yes, it is. Earlier in our first iteration, the value of total was 1. Now we are saying replace the value of total with total plus the start value. For us the start value is now 2. So it becomes 3. And then in this line 3 is getting printed. That's why 3 is over here. And it keeps on going like this until the value of start value is greater than or equal to this end value. Then the program flow comes to this print statement and it prints this line. In case if I run this again, basically, okay, I have to give hash over here to comment it. So let's run this again. If I give something else, let's say 34 or 343, and if I press enter, I am getting invalid choice. Program has successfully completed. So what's happening over here? We are only comparing 1 and 2 as the user input, or we are expecting only 1 and 2 as the user input. But as we are getting 343, so this becomes false. Then it goes, the program control goes to this part. So 343 is equal to 2. This is also false. Then it comes to this else part and it prints this line. Then the program control comes to this line and it prints this line. So in this program we have shown the utility of for loop, while loop and if statement in the same program. So if the user select 1 and then the user was asked to provide the start number and the end number, and the program has shown all the numbers between the given range. While if the user selects 2, then again the user was asked to provide the start number and the end number. But in this case, the summation of the start number against the next number is stored in the variable total, and then the start number is incremented by 1, and again it got summed with total. And for this we have used the while loop. So this is how you can use for loop, while loop and if conditional statement all together in a Python program. Happy learning and see you in the next video.